Welcome everybody to the Scenic Route with me, Victoria Stewart. And today I have a very special guest, Coco Duan, who is an executive coach. And we live not that far apart from each other. So I'm very excited about the fact that we've connected. I am a financial empowerment coach who I help women get to a safe place with their money as they are planning their departure from corporate. Coco, would you like to introduce yourself?
100%. Yeah, I would say I'm a coach who helps high achieving women, the similar type of women, to break their good girl patterns to become badass.
Yes. Yeah. And I found out yesterday as I was looking at your website that you're an author, a published author, and you also have your own podcast.
Yes,
so we'll have to point people to that too.
Yes.
I'm always totally blown away when somebody has written a book.
Yes, the book is called Unchecking the Boxes.
I know.
So it's all making sense, right? You want to talk more like how many of us and how I used to check all the boxes and then realize, oh, this is not what I thought I would feel after checking all the boxes. And the podcast is the badass leader.
Yeah, so cool. So I am curious, just because I do know that you started out in corporate and have worked in all of these huge companies and everything else. But I'm curious for you, was there a moment, what was the inciting incident? What was the thing that kind of was there a thing that happened, whether it was a practice, a life event, just, you woke up one morning and you're look around and you're what's going on? That kind of shifted your path, your direction.
Yes. Well.
Right?
Say I definitely am not alone in this. It's never just happened overnight.
Yeah.
It's something you felt for a long period of time. And from this whisper, right? This whisper until one day it becomes shouting you cannot ignore anymore. So that's really was my journey. And then it's all thanks to COVID, really. Yeah. I know that also I'm not the only one. I think you have similar experience.
It's like a time that woke a lot of us up, right? Where you just are spending so much time by yourself. You're wait a second.
Exactly. Because before that, I was living in big city, right? New York City, just constantly hustling, bustling, busy. So even though I had this lot of whispering inside of me, feels this is not it. I'm feeling this off. I'm just not that happy. But I could easily get distracted until COVID happened. Nothing could distract me. Nothing. And then that's when I heard the voice. The voice became so loud I couldn't ignore anymore. That's when everything changed.
Everything changed. Yeah, it's similar for me, right? You were all of a sudden I was working from home. I was working out. I was cooking my own food. I'm why am I not feeling any better? This is weird.
This is weird. Yes.
Yeah, this is weird. And then it started start investigating. So with COVID, with it getting a shout, that inner voice, you could finally hear her.
Yeah.
What ended up happening? What steps did you take, or what was the pivot or change in your direction that happened?
Yeah, for sure. I love that you made this metaphor of superhighway. I was on this superhighway.
Yeah, you definitely were.
But it was so normal for me. I didn't even know I was living like that. So just imagine superhighway, right? What kind of life
Yeah, it's like flying past, right?
Flying past. Also, when it's just fast, everything was urgent,
Yeah.
urgent. And at work, we just constant this pressure to like get to the next stop, right? Do the thing.
Yeah.
And get to the next promotion, get to the next salary increase, get the next recognition. And always just constant hustling. And on the other side is that I had no idea I was driving 100 miles an hour while running empty. Completely empty inside. But outside, I was still performing. But no one could see it. I was giving, like, for everybody else, truly put others first, and also wasn't consciously aware, just because that's something I was so used to. And I put my boss first. Anything they ask for, because I never say no. It's like, of course, I can do this. Who wants to take this on? I have 10 things on my list. I'm like, one, right? And at home, my ex-partner, and I was a breadwinner, and he wasn't bringing much to the home, but I still had to be the one tolerate everything. I had to always make sure he's happy. Wasn't doing things. It wasn't never about me. It's always about him, right? And with my parents, the same. Is that I never told them my struggles. Somehow, it's just always that I don't want to burden them with my challenges. I don't want them to worry about me. So let me just every time call them was just such obligation. I had to pretend everything was okay.
Yeah.
Right? So I just put on a facade. Oh, this car's running so fast. Like, oh, beautiful Porsche, right? But inside
high performance, right?
High performance, but inside was like junk all over, right? And at the same time, no one can help me take care of it. And there's no gasoline. It was just burning. The engine eventually, this becomes so loud. It's because engine literally said, I cannot keep running like this anymore.
Right.
So that's really the turning point. For me, I sought professional help, because at that point, I'm like, I read a bunch of books and I listened to shitload of podcasts. I wasn't able to make any change. I felt so stuck. And then truly the professional help started with this whole journey. And it's not, the change didn't happen overnight either.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a scenic route right now. But guess what? Doesn't mean it's all pretty or, rainbow, sunshine, and unicorns all the time. Hell no.
Too bad.
It's no longer control.
Yeah.
No longer the life that I just feel like, because on the superhighway, you have to move fast, right? You have to move fast because other cars are behind you, are honking at you, are chasing you. You have to run a certain speed. Right away, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm, falling behind. That sense. But now in the scenic route, it's like, I can take time. Or
right.
And that really, I think, just now I would say calm and alive. I have never experienced this level of calmness because I didn't even know what it was like. I lived in low-grade anxiety my whole life. I didn't even know. And now I'm really, right, life is more than just work, achievements, check the boxes, right? Life is actually about living it every day and do things bring me joy, as simple as just like, I'm able to go outside for a walk in the middle of the day. I don't have to be tied to my freaking desk all day.
Yeah. Right? Like,
yeah.
Well, and they feel like they're simple things, but they are also so profound, right?
Profound,
like,
and significant.
When you are allowed to, design the life you actually want to live.
100%. I just be a human, and just be a human. versus
Yeah.
productivity machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we like to, you know, our bodies are an amazing machine, but they also, like, every machine needs maintenance,
100%.
right? It's not just like no machine can run
Mhm.
100% of the time.
No,
And we expect
exactly.
ourselves to be able to run 100% of the
100%
time.
of the time. Yeah, exactly. You also need to nourish, right? Nourish the
Right.
machine. You need to make sure it's great. You put oil, do all the
Yeah.
things. This is as well. Caffeine, lack of sleep, junk food. We set
Yes.
the machine to be
Sugar.
high performance. Exactly. Completely
Yeah.
just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, how did you end up landing on being an executive coach?
Yeah. Very good question. I felt like that wasn't just overnight I woke up, I'm like, oh, I want to be a coach. Not at all.
Yeah.
Because really big part of driving on the superhighway was
Yep.
I really was just following the flow, meaning the
Right.
societal family expectations. And I didn't, on that, in that process, I completely lost myself. I didn't even know what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then the things I was very corporate work, managing businesses, all of that, I was very good at. And I mistook it for something that I enjoy. But no, that's not the case, right? The zone of genius versus zone of excellence. That was my zone of excellence. I could do really well. But did I fully enjoy? No, I didn't. Right. And ultimately now finding the work I do now is finding the zone of genius. It's like, oh, feeling more aligned. But that started with me, first of all, getting off the highway so that actually I have time and the bandwidth and capacity to really get to know what feels more aligned with me.
Right.
Because when you are running at that speed, there's no way you can even figure it out.
No.
Right?
That's very true.
Completely change the direction. So that you need to have that moment of pause. That's what me. Like I started to spend a lot of weekend evenings walking outside, really just reflecting on my life. One thing I reflected on was that this 20 years in corporate America, what did I enjoy the most? And that's when this kind, how did this spark, or when you call it glimmer, right? The glimmer started to emerge. So I'm like, oh, it was never about the revenue, the profit on the new products and the projects I launched. It was always about people.
Mm-hmm.
Always about growing and developing my team. And also how other people, the leaders, really made a positive impact on me, right? When I thought about those moments, my heart just felt the warmth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that is the thing I want to do more of. And that's when I got curious about what is the thing coaching can allow me to do more of that. Then that's when I started to know more about what coaching is. I talked to a couple of coach friends. And then when they describe the kind of life they're living now versus corporate life, I'm like, oh, sign me up, right? I just bought into that vision, but I still didn't know what coaching was all about. But I'm like, you know what? I will never know until I do it. So I enrolled myself in coaching training, 1 year coaching training. And that's how I got started. But more than just learning coaching skill, then I realized, oh, in order to become a coach myself, I really need to do the work myself.
Yes.
I really embody the work. And I got so much more personal growth and personal development out of this coaching training, in addition to the skill of becoming a coaching skill. And that's through that process, I really got to know me. I'm like, oh, wow, I feel so much more alive doing this work. Work doesn't feel like work anymore. And I'm great at this, right? That's ultimately what we want to go into. You want to have the perfect trifecta, right? It is something you enjoy, something you're great at, and also there's demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found this thing. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to do this. But still took me a while to quit my full-time job, like a
Mm-hmm.
year and a half. I planned, but this is the work that you're doing very much. For that year and a half, I created my financial freedom, right? I know that, okay, in order for me to take that leap, the financial security is the foundational piece.
Right.
And then let me get this, get this right, get this all organized and feel safe. And only when that happened, I planned it with a number. Then eventually 3 years ago, I took the leap to become a full-time coach.
Beautiful. So were you coaching before you left? Were you doing it part-time or?
A little bit, but was looking back is really like a bit funny in many ways. I was hiding in the closet because I was so afraid employer was going to find out what I was doing. It was all in my head, right? It was so this good girl in me, like, oh, I cannot be seen as not committed. I cannot be seen as I have
no side hustle.
No
right?
side hustle. I need to be very, because I'm more dedicated. I have to be dedicated. Otherwise it's wrong. So I was still in that mode. And I only sent out like a few emails to my close circle and announced it. And that's how I really hustled it. It's just a very limited. I wish now I give people, newer coach or they're still in corporate. I'm like, oh, just tell everybody you're a coach. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Yes.
Well, and I feel like now lots of people do it, on the side or a little consulting, as long as it doesn't conflict with your existing job.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Like, why not practice, right? Do the practice before you 100%. Say you fully commit to something yet again. Being like, I must do this, right? And instead of being like, oh, let me just explore this. Well, you know what? Maybe this isn't exactly the right fit.
Yeah.
But you get to play in the sandbox and figure out which parts and pieces you really like and work with the people that you really enjoy working with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that you're an executive coach, but you've done a lot of other explorations and you bring a lot of really interesting other modalities that maybe you wouldn't like. If people think of executive coach, they may not think of that as being part of what you work on. Yeah. So is there any piece that like feels most profound or that you've noticed is so helpful for all your clients and for yourself? Because you started with yourself first.
Yeah, always 100%. So how I would say people see traditional or typical executive coaching, it's a lot, I would say, mindset coaching.
Yep.
A lot about teach you change the beliefs and also teach you the right leadership skills, right? All of those things. Those things are absolutely valuable. Yes. But what I found was without certain foundational work, you can learn all the skills, but a lot of time you're like, how come I still cannot do it? I know I'm supposed to do this, but I can't, right? I just cannot bring myself to do that. And that's really where I got stuck. So for the first 3 years, all the coaching I received was that type of coaching. Was all about change your beliefs. Like, let's just talk it out. And it helped, right? It helped me to get my divorce, and it helped me to leave corporate America, and it helped me to definitely come out of my, change from the Superhighway to the Scenic route. It did. But then guess what? When I'm on this Scenic route and I'm still feeling anxious all the time, I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't smelling roses.
No.
When I see a beautiful rose, I was like, oh, smell, no, I can't. What if this is gonna go away? right? Like, let's say if I get a client or make some money, then I was like, oh wow, this is good, but it's not enough. I need to make the next one, right? Always need to chase the next goal to make me feel safe. So
Yeah.
and then the same thing with the money, even though in reality and financially I'm very sound, but somehow whenever I'm hearing a no from a potential client will trigger me, right? I
Yeah.
will get into this spiral. It's like, holy shit, what if I run out of money? Holy shit, what if I go broke? You know what I mean? Completely irrational.
Yes.
Like,
All of a sudden scarcity
comes
rears
up.
its head.
Exactly. But it's like, I don't understand. I'm like, I want like two different voices, right? One is this logic sound voice. It's like, you're fine, you're good, you're capable. Look at how much you've accomplished, how you survived even to be here. But on the other side is like, holy shit, I'm gonna go broke. Holy shit, I'm gonna be homeless. Holy shit, I'm not gonna be okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Reconcile this. But then also, I just notice my body every time when I get triggered to spiral, and my body, I can just feel the churn in my stomach. I feel my head spinning. I feel my heart racing. Right? I'm like, let me do some research about this. I'm like, there's more work I need to do. So that's when I learned about nervous system regulation, safety,
Yeah.
and all of those things. But it also took me a while to actually do the work. So I was learning about nervous system. I was
Yes.
reading books about it, right? Listening to podcasts about it. So yeah, learning helped, but really still didn't help address the core issue until I just started doing the work myself through somatic practices, literally body-based practices, and also doing parts work, internal family system, if you're not familiar with, so that it's so much of what triggered, right? The voice inside of me saying, oh, I'm not going to be okay. Oh, I'm going to go broke. Oh my gosh, whatever. It's really, I realize that's not present voice. It's not like the adult voice. It's my young Coco's voice, right? When I
Yes.
felt that when I was 6, when I felt that when I was 12, when I felt that when I was 16, that I overwhelmed, right? I had overwhelming experience, it didn't feel safe, but never brought back to safety. I was just stuck, frozen in time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what I learned. Then really through that work is nervous system regulation work, building the safety in real time, and doing the parts work. It's a truly repair, right? Repair the old wound so that I'm not stuck in the past anymore. And that becomes the foundation of my coaching approach. Because only when I do that work, and when I feel safe, when I feel I'm supported, then I'm ready. Then I'm ready to receive, to believe different things, and to go out to the world and do big things, and to become a better leader, and to apply all the leadership strategies that I've learned. But without the foundation, then it can be very limited, right? You're like, I want to do it, but somehow I can't. So that is truly, I would say, last couple of years, like to embodied learning and informed my new approach.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's so curious when you do this work, like how much of what used to protect you as a child or as a young person has like stayed and stays, like tries to control the situation from that knowledge of childhood, right?
Yeah.
It's just, and how I listened to a podcast, of course, fairly recently, and it was very curious because he was talking about how you may want something, but your subconscious is like, well, this thing is actually unsafe. Well, until you convince that little you or the subconscious that no, this thing is either attainable, safe, or whatever, you're going to be driving it away, even as you're saying that you really want it.
You want it.
So
100%. Yeah.
Which is so interesting, right? Like, especially if, I don't know what your clients come to you for typically? Like, what are their goals? But I would imagine there's some interesting blocks, right? That it's like, I've been trying to get to here forever and I just can't seem to. And it's like something
Yeah,
inside is happening that's like pulling you back.
exactly, exactly. Right. That's what people refer to as self-sabotaging. Right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, I want this thing, but somehow I just cannot get myself to do this thing or even do the opposite thing. In reality, it's not self-sabotaging. It's a survival, right? It's a
Yes.
survival, right, protective mechanism that had worked, right? It worked when we were younger, but now it's still trying to protect you, but then it's not very effective anymore. It usually is
Right.
counterproductive. Right, so I can give you an example of my clients, some of the common challenges they face,
Yes.
and they are all very high achieving corporate leaders, very successful, and a lot of times is that they feel like they always do they always do so much, but they're not necessarily getting the support they need.
Yes.
Right? Have you felt that? It's like you
Yes.
take on everything, right? But I'm like, you're not getting the support. So then what happens is that they're not getting the support. They're like, oh, then they're truly, when we get to the bottom of it, we realize they are uncomfortable to ask for support. Right?
Yes.
One is
Right.
two things. One it is they take on too much. Because it's always raise their hand. Oh, who wants to volunteer? Who wants to take on this? Me, right? Always 120%, always give 120% because this desire to always prove your worth. We don't even realize that's what we're doing. It's when you are overextending yourself in that way, it always feels like, I need to do more to prove that I'm worthy, right? I'm valuable. So that's one pattern is playing out. And the other one is that you have a lot on your plate, you realize you're unsupported, then you don't feel comfortable asking for support, or you're asking for it but you're hedging it, you're softening it, you're doubting yourself.
Right.
Oh, am I asking for too much? Right? Then of course you don't come across as with conviction. People are not going to hear you.
Right.
She doesn't really need the support if she's kind
Yeah.
of asking the soft way, right? So
Yeah.
that's
You
really what's
didn't
happening.
actually ask.
You didn't really actually act, you thought you did. So that's really what it is. It's like they're so capable, but they're getting to a place they're like, oh my gosh, it's just too much. But they don't realize is their protective patterns, right? All their good girl patterns keep them there. So in order, say, oh, I need to change my boss, change the company, change the culture. No, it's about change you, how you are showing up in the workplace.
Yeah. That's a powerful mindset shift, and also like deeply
Safe.
within yourself
So
shift,
you
right?
have to feel safe enough not to prove yourself all the time. You need to feel safe enough to ask clearly, loudly, unapologetically. All right.
Right.
So it is really about once you have that internal safety, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to get fired for asking. I'm not going to upset other people by asking, even they get upset. So what? This is a valid ask. Then you learn how to ask in a strategic way. Right? But if you just learn how to ask, say the right thing, oh, you need to talk to this person, then this person, say this thing first. But guess what? If you don't have that internal safety in the moment of, you cannot even execute those things. You're just panicking. You're like, you rumble. You cannot even say it out.
Right.
So that's
Comes
why
all.
these two need to go hand in hand. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a powerful thing that what I think you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're working on this mindset. You're working on the feeling of safety within yourself, but you also are working on like the skills, the strategic pieces of how to talk to your leadership, how to bring something up in a strategic way so that it is heard in the right way.
Yes, you do. All of those need to go together. But it's start with the foundation, right? I can never teach them the strategic approach without having the internal safety first.
Right. It's like that if you have that underlying money stress or anxiety, you've already talked about, right? The foundation is unstable. Well, then you're not going to optimize the rest of your life if you're always like trying to balance yourself, because that maybe money is the thing that is creating that instability in your life, or it can be something completely different.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So is there anything new that you're excited about right now? Like whether it's a new learning for yourself or a new thing you're building, is there anything fun?
Yeah, well, absolutely fun. Literally fun. It's like, you know what? This is something I wasn't doing consciously until recently, which is my thing is what brings me most joy in life, which is dancing. And I'm going to Buenos Aires in a few days and for 3 weeks just to dance tango.
No. Wow.
Yes. So this is like, I didn't know that, I really, had a very, I would say overall pretty tough upbringing, but I normalized it, it was like, anyhow. So in my 20s, I was in Shanghai, and was also very cutthroat, competitive environment, with their on my own, climbing the corporate ladder. But somehow, I started dancing very seriously. So I was going out dancing 5 nights a week. Like when I do something, I just go all in, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how much of the dancing and the movement in my life throughout all the years, I would say many kept me alive. That I was able to survive that such an intense years of my life. But I was doing it was just like unaware. It's just something kind of like draw me to it, but I wasn't intentionally choosing to do it because I know it would really help. But now knowing that I'm so intentional about it. Is that I go out dancing twice a week when I'm here. And then I go to exactly this dance vacations. Also, I go to monthly dance convention, like 4 days, we can just dance. And I put it on the calendar first and then arrange my work around it versus the other way. Because there's quite many years of my life was the other way. It's like, let me focus on work, prioritize other people. Ever the leftover time I have, then let me go out dance, right? Then a lot of times I end up not going or too exhausted to go. But now I'm like, you know what? This joy is my fuel. It's my fuel for doing the good work, performance or doing good work in the world. But it's by literally that's the gas in my tank.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, how fun. That is so fun. And like, that is such an amazing message to share as well, that you have found Argentine Tango as like this thing that you love, and you organize your work schedule on prioritizing this time for yourself, right? This thing that you love.
Yes.
And
100%. 100%. Because that's the thing. A lot of all of us, right? We're like, that's frivolous. So how do I have time? I don't have time for that, right? A lot of times I don't have time for that. It's like, but this is what I realized is that when after, for let's say 2 hours dancing, whatever, right? That is when I come back, it's truly a major reset for my whole system. My brain is rested, my nervous system is rested, and also when I'm in the social setting, also I'm connecting with other people. It's more than just physical activity. It's a social activity. It's a brain, body, nervous system reset. So always, the next day I return to work, I just feel so much more energy. I think more clearly. I have more creative ideas, and I do things much faster. Right? We all have experiences like the long to-do list in front of you, staring at it, right? Like, I don't want to do this. You're like pushing yourself, dreading. Hours pass by, still not done, right?
Mm-hmm.
But every time after dancing, I look at the list, boom, 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 knock it out. Usually take 5 hours, would take like an hour. So that's 34 hours right there, right? Okay, exclude the 2-hour dance. I still see 2 extra hours. Literally to do math. That's really
Yeah.
So truly now, every day, my number one priority is my nervous system regulation. I spend an hour walking by the ocean. I spend 1 hour doing very mindful movement. I don't do any crazy sports anymore. I used to do CrossFit, just too intense on the body. You know what I mean? Just too much adrenaline and activation, nervous system. Now I do something different. So I meditate for half an hour, right? I dance. So average 4 hours a day, my nervous system. When I feel calm, when I feel alive, and I only work 5 hours, more or less 5 hours focused work, really focused work, 5 hours. That's it. That's all you need. And the old way of working is 10, 12 hours days, right? In corporate days.
Yeah.
I mean, we think it's insane. That's not how our body is built. Half of the time, my brain was foggy, right? I had to push through. And also my body, my brain doesn't actually get full rest. So it was never in its optimal performance condition. So I just felt like we've been taught wrong. Also, in that environment, sometimes it's a little bit harder, right? Obviously, it's very hard. If I still work in corporate, it's hard to take 4 hours to really do that. But you don't have to do 4 hours, right? This is what I do full time, but you don't have to do 4 hours. Even just do smaller, intentionally start the morning rather than just checking your email and Slack messages. Just go outside, take a walk, right? Sit in your garden, drink a cup of tea without checking your phone. Just 20 minutes can make a huge difference for your day. And this is science. Also, I'm like, this is not woo-woo shit, No. This is literally science. Like, let's all study some neuroscience, right?
Yes. Well, and I think there's also even science now that says that dancing is one of the best ways to bring your nervous system into rest and like into alignment. There's a reason that there's dance in like every culture, right?
Yes.
And exactly for like ceremonial dancing, for turning of the seasons, for weddings, for whatever else, there's a reason. And it's exactly the things you were talking about. But I mean, it even works if you just play a song and dance around, like 100%. To take a break, move your body, like body movement like that can be so powerful.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's a time when I don't go out, to take classes or social dancing. At least that's what actually before our recording, that's what I did. I played a song and I just moved my body. You don't have to be dancing. Sometimes, no, bullshit. Knows how to move your body. Just move your body with music.
Yeah. Just watch like a toddler, right? They just jump around and wave their arms and legs and it's amazing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's us, right? Every single one of us were that toddler at some point of our life. And then guess what? Then we got conditioned out of it, right?
Yeah.
You look crazy. Oh, you look weird. Oh, right? Then we started like, I don't want to do that. Oh, I don't feel comfortable.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed. Exactly. Like, no, go back to be a toddler.
Yes. No self-consciousness, just feeling good in your body, doing what feels good.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, as we wrap this up, is there anything that you wish I had asked you that we haven't talked about?
I guess I just wanted to emphasize one point, which is, I think a lot of people fall in the trap, which I did too, I alluded to earlier, which is reading books, listening to podcasts like this. absolutely very, very helpful. But that's not enough. If you
Yes.
really want to create real and lasting change. And it's truly by doing the work. Doing the work, I think, start with it doesn't mean you have to work with you, Victoria, or me, but I'm saying it's essential to start to do the work with someone, because
100%.
so much, just like many skill, all the things that we will talk about that most people struggle with, all right, why just stuck in the superhighway. It's because the skills that we never learned, right? How to regulate our nervous system, how to regulate our emotions, and how to manage anxiety, how to manage money, and all the skills that we never learned. And the things that we should have learned when we were so much younger. We need someone to teach us to do it first. Then we can do it alone. So that's what we call, this like co-regulation or empathic witness to your experience. So you literally need someone to be there, guide you, and support you. So that's why for me, I still have my coach today. I still do the work. I want my coach. It's not because I have to have her. It's because that's how our system is built, right? Then you can get there faster also. So this is what I encourage people is that watch this, listen to this, absolutely. But also when you're ready to truly make real changes in your life and find someone to guide you, to help you, then you can do this on your own, soon after. Then you don't feel why it's still not changing? Why you're like, oh, I'm reading all these hundreds of books, you listen to thousands of hours of podcasts. Why I'm still here? Why I'm still stuck, right? That feeling feels terrible. I've been there, right? I don't want you that. It's just like you're not doing it the right way. The right way it is about, okay, consuming information, but at the same time, it's about doing the real work. You need to actually experience it by someone who's experienced, who has the professional, expertise to support you and guide you on this process.
Right. Because I feel like the books and podcasts, like for me, they were almost like a gateway drug, right? Like they open your mind to the possibilities.
Yeah.
But it is so hard to, like exactly what you said, implement something new, right? Doing a new skill, trying to do it without somebody walking you through, even if something feels so simple and straightforward, like being in community, whether it's individually or with a group or however it is, right? Where you're holding each other accountable. You get to see your experiences similar, maybe a little different. You're bringing your own wisdom. They're bringing theirs is so profound. And why, like, it can be so valuable to work with a coach or a therapist, right? If it feels more acute. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I want to use this analogy, is like, right? You can never learn how to ride a bicycle by reading books and listening to podcasts. You literally have to get on the bike.
You
right?
actually have to get on the bike.
Get on the bike. And get on the bike, it's uncomfortable, right? Initially, very uncomfortable. And it's when I learned how to bike, I had my uncle taught me how to ride a bike. And we didn't back then or even just like wheel, right? Right now have what were those called, like with the wheels? What were those, like a supporting?
The training wheels?
Training wheels, exactly. When I was growing up, the bicycles, there was no training wheels. Right? You like literally need someone to help you to get on the bike and support you, And now there's at least a training wheel, but still, right? There's a support structure, right? So you need to get on the bike. You need to feel supported. I need to people guide you, say, hey, this is where you're supposed to go, right? You need to do this or that. So it's the same. It's like you cannot just, you cannot change by cognitive processing, just by learning.
Right.
You need to actually doing and living it, experiencing it. And you cannot do it alone. Really, you cannot do it alone. You need to find a community, one way or the other, whatever is the right fit for you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Coco. Thank you for sharing all this amazing wisdom. And if people want to reach out to you or follow you, learn more, how do they find you?
Well, they can find me on my website, cocoduancoaching.com. And
We will share
social
that in the
media,
show notes.
yeah, the social media where I'm active on, it's LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect.
Find me there.
Amazing. So thank you again. And thanks everybody who were here live and who are listening to the recording. And we will see you soon.